hostages they'll let go. The starting time for this temporary ceasefire will be announced in the next 24 hours.
Breakthrough in the Middle East. Lives will be saved. Late tonight, the Israeli cabinet approved a 4-day pause in fighting with Hamas.
The deal will allow 50 hostages to be released, and Hamas says the longer the pause in fighting lasts, the more hostages they'll let go. The starting time for this temporary ceasefire will be announced in the next 24 hours as we take a live look from the Israel-Gaza border. It is Wednesday morning there.
This deal means the agonizing wait is finally nearing an end for some of the families of more than the 200 hostages. NBC's Terry McSweeney has more details and reaction from the local Jewish and Islamic community.
The Israel-Hamas war is about to be put on pause. The deal, approved during a tense Israeli cabinet meeting tonight, calls for a 4-day ceasefire, 50 hostages, women and children, released, 150 Palestinian prisoners, mostly women and children, released. 10 more hostages will be released every day. The ceasefire continues. One of those hostages is 3-year-old American Abigail Edam, whose parents were executed by Hamas before she was kidnapped on October 7th during the terrorist attack that started the war. Family members are still desperately waiting for any news.
Any child that is turning 4 should turn 4 with their family. They should not be a hostage in Gaza. They should not have been abducted. They should not have seen their parents be murdered.
Neither side says this means the war is about to end. Israel says its goal remains the elimination of Hamas, and Hamas says its finger remains on the trigger to remove the occupiers. Local groups are skeptical. Zara Balou is the executive director of the Council on American Islamic Relations.
A real ceasefire means that the war must stop, that all Israeli bombing must end, and we need to acknowledge that a few days is not enough.
Tyler Gregory is the CEO of the Jewish Community Relations Council.
This is a terrorist organization that Israel's negotiating with, and we know that they can continue to play games.
The Qatari government brokered the deal with the assistance of Egyptian and American negotiators. It says the starting time for the release will be announced in the next 24 hours and will take place in Qatar.
Our community believes that in order for there to be a long-term ceasefire, that the rest of the hostages need to be returned and that Hamas's rule in Gaza should come to an end.
Prime Minister Netanyahu continues to spew violent rhetoric, continues to talk about being at war, and so I am concerned.
Humanitarian aid to Gaza will increase to hundreds of trucks per day, including fuel. Hamas says it needs to move around freely to consolidate the remaining hostages, so Israel would suspend overhead drone flights for up to 6 hours a day in the north and altogether in the south. In San Francisco, Terry McSweeney, NBC Bay Area News.